Do not watch this alone. These are 7 real feeling scary encounters where the danger starts quietly. Then one tiny detail makes the whole story feel wrong. Story 1 starts with the kind of moment most people would ignore. I thought I knew who was wrong here, but the details changed everything. Someone tried to come into my apartment at 1 a.m. and acted like they had the wrong place. This happened in January this year in Warsaw, and it still makes me uneasy. I was renting a small studio in Walla. Old building, thin walls, nothing unusual. I got home late that night, around 0:30, after work. Everything felt normal. I locked the door, I always double-check, made some food, and sat on my bed scrolling my phone. Around 1:10 a.m. I heard my door handle move. Not a knock. The handle. At first I thought I imagined it, but then it happened again. A slow, careful push like someone was trying to open it quietly. I just froze. Then someone knocked. 2 quick knocks. I didn't answer. After a few seconds, a guy's voice said something like, "Hello? Sorry, wrong apartment." But here's the thing, he sounded way too calm. Not confused. Not embarrassed. Just flat. I still didn't respond. Then I heard him try the handle one more time. Harder this time. That's when I said loudly, "Yeah, wrong apartment." There was a pause. Then he just said, "Okay," and walked away. No apology. No explanation. I didn't sleep that night. Next morning I checked with my neighbor across the hall. She said no one had knocked on her door. Also, important detail, my apartment is at the end of the hallway. There's no reason to accidentally end up at my door unless you're going specifically there. Nothing else happened after that, but I started double locking and pushing a chair under the handle at night. Maybe it was nothing, but the way he tried the handle before knocking didn't feel like a mistake. I still do not know what I would have done differently, and that is why this story stuck with me. That is the moment where most people would pretend nothing was wrong. Story 2. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds and then it turns. I need a reality check, because this situation got messy fast. Truck stop encounter. So this was really strange and just gave me the creeps. I-43F was walking out of a truck stop. I held the door for the man coming out behind me. After thanking me, he informed me that my purchase was not healthy for me. I don't remember asking for his opinion, but then he proceeded to put his arm around me, told me to go over to his U-Haul so he could give me something a bit healthier. WTF. Then he asked me if I was married, as he tried to walk me toward his truck. I told him, yes, happily, then squirmed out of his hold as quickly as I could and put as much distance between us as possible as I backed toward my vehicle. He then asked me how old I thought he was. That caught me off guard. Who cares how old I think he is? I was being generous and told him 48. He looked like he was in his 50s. Apparently he was in his 30s and took offense to my answer and began berating me about why I thought he was 48. I got into my vehicle, locked the doors, and got out of there as quickly as possible. I didn't feel like I was in danger at the moment, but afterwards I was pissed that he thought it was okay to touch me and talk to me like that. Who has the audacity to do that to someone you don't know? And I was a bit mad at myself for being so nice to him, but I didn't want to escalate the situation any further. I made sure as I left that he didn't follow me. I still do not know what I would have done differently, and that is why this story stuck with me. The scary part is how ordinary the first warning sign felt. Story 3. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds and then it turns. I need a reality check, because this situation got messy fast. Almost abducted at DSW. I hit a growth spurt when I was 7 and my feet quickly grew to an adult women's size 7. I thought my women's-sized feet were super cool, and one day while my mom was at DSW trying on a pair of shoes, I asked her if I could try on shoes in my size. The aisle with my size was just 2 rows from my mom's aisle, so I wasn't across the store when this happened. I tried on a few different styles, then eventually put a red pair of heels on that I could barely walk in. When I sat down to take them off, 2 women in their mid-30-40s came up to me and started to compliment my looks. They told me I was a pretty little girl and that I could be a model if I wanted to. Now I can't remember what they said to me, but before I knew it, I was walking in between them, and they were each holding one of my hands to walk me out of the store. We were almost to the door when across the store my mother screams, "Oh!" runs and rips me out from in between the two ladies. We never really talked about what happened that day, but I can't imagine what would have happened to me if they got me in their car. Sick bitches. I still do not know what I would have done differently, and that is why this story stuck with me. That is the moment where most people would pretend nothing was wrong. Story 4. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds and then it turns. I thought I knew who was wrong here, but the details changed everything. Strange man at grocery store asked for my number for a job interview. Today something happened that left me feeling really uneasy. My mom dropped me off at a grocery store after the gym, so I could pick up a few things while she went to get my younger sister. My phone was dead, so I couldn't really check anything or contact anyone. While I was in the produce section trying to find decent bananas, they were all green. An older man walked up to me. He was dressed in a light blue suit and had dark hair. That's honestly all I remember. He asked me if I had applied to work at the store. I said yes without really thinking because I actually did apply there recently. I've been trying to get a job for a while, so I didn't question it right away. Then he asked for my name and phone number, so he could reach out to schedule an interview. I gave it to him and he just walked away. He never told me his name or position or anything. Right after that, my mom showed up earlier than expected. I told her what happened and she immediately got upset and said it sounded really sketchy. We asked the cashiers if they knew anything about a man hiring like that, and they seemed confused and said it was odd. When we got home, I called the store and explained everything. The employee on the phone told me they don't hire like that and said she would check the cameras. Now I just feel really uncomfortable and kinda stupid for giving my number to a random guy. Has anything like this happened to anyone else? I still do not know what I would have done differently, and that is why this story stuck with me. The scary part is how ordinary the first warning sign felt. Story 5. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds and then it turns. I thought I knew who was wrong here, but the details changed everything. Good Samaritan or creepy weirdo? So I got a flat tire on my way home from work and had to find the closest exit somewhere safe before my tire completely ran out of air. For reference, I am a female in my early 30s. Ended up in an empty parking lot at a closed business center, parked facing the main road, where I was completely visible to anyone driving by, called for help, did all the things. Close to sundown at this point, but still light outside. I am on the phone the entire time, on speaker. And while waiting for AAA to show up, a white Toyota Tacoma truck pulls into the parking lot. Didn't think too much of it at the time, even briefly thought, does AAA send unmarked cars now to put spares on? Briefly, before realizing that was never going to be the case, and I saw on my tracker that help was still 15 minutes away. Anyways, this man in the truck decides not to park in an actual spot, but backs his truck where he's facing me directly, engine on, about 10 yards away. I am still on the phone the entire time, standing, leaning on my driver's side door, which is open, facing the main road with lots of cars going by every second. Man in truck literally is still here, doesn't try to approach or say anything. Maybe because I'm on my phone, and is just hanging out. I honestly didn't think much of it, but was aware he was there. The part that threw me, as soon as AAA got there, he peeled out so fast and lowered his eyes from behind the visor of his truck to make eye contact with me. That's when I was like, wait, WTF just happened? Creepy or overreacting? Kind of freaked out, to be honest. I still do not know what I would have done differently, and that is why this story stuck with me. That is the moment where most people would pretend nothing was wrong. Story 6. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds and then it turns. I thought I knew who was wrong here, but the details changed everything. Someone followed me out to my car last night after my serving shift. I got off work last night around 11 p.m. and I was walking out to my car. I looked behind me as any woman does in the dark and saw some man walking behind me. It's a restaurant in a hotel, so it's not uncommon for the parking lot to stay pretty full, so I didn't think much of it. I turn in to walk in between my car and another car to get to the driver's seat, and he's now right there, blocking me in. He kept asking for my number or